Alright guys, I'm just out riding and today I'm starting this off in the dining room because it's windy as all hell outside and I needed some good audio to start this video off. Today we're going to be spray painting the plastics of my WR250X. I've already, here's my apple pies, this is the fuel of the operation. I've already taken off the stickers and these can be discarded now, they're all sort of, hello, stuck to the table. However, I've also taken off a lot of these foam bits. There's also a load over here. I've then washed up the plastics with some warm soapy water and made sure to take off all the sticky bits that held on the graphics. So now we're going to go out to the garage and I'll show you the plastics and what the plan is now. Here are the three plastics that I'm going to be spray painting laid down on the floor. I think I'm going to hit them with some essential Waitrose window and glass cleaner and then polish them up a bit and let them dry thoroughly before applying the first coat of primer. I'm going to do the back of these first, so if it messes up in any way, it's the bit you can't see, and then I'll move on to the front, which I cleaned a lot better. The back I was kind of lazy with. This stuff's probably like not good for it in some way. I'm sure someone will correct me on how I'm doing this completely wrong. I want to make sure I don't get any of these tissuey bits on it, because that's not going to be good for the final look. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Okay, I'd say all these bits are now ready for primer. I don't want to completely let them dry so there's no moisture on it, so the primer can properly go onto it with no issues. I'll probably do 3 coats of primer on either side, starting with the reverse side. These are the paints I've got. I've got this primer, white gloss paint, black gloss and clear sealer, which will be used to spray over everything at the end to make sure it all locks in. The white's going to go on these plastics here, but this black, I'm probably going to spray paint this luggage rack, which also has a helmet lock on it, which I'll need to take off. But this needs some preparation work, and I'll do that probably after I've done all these. Here goes nothing. I'm going to apply the first layer of this primer coat. I've been shaking it up for a minute or so. I should probably be using a gas mask, but then I can't get high. Free drugs. Okay, I think that's going to do it for the first coat. I'm not really sure how much to put on, but I know that you want a lot of thin layers, not one thick layer. I'm probably going to cut until all the primer's done because it's going to be very repetitive and the wind's picking up. I'll see you then. Alright guys, it's the next day, the primer has dried, I've done some more googling and I don't think I was really meant to prime it, but I'm going to clean it off and see how it looks. The bits of plastic are just over here, so I'll show you now. Here they are. The primer's not really stuck properly, but after I take off the top layer of primer, there is a layer underneath that's stuck quite well and it's still a little bit coarse, which is actually probably a good thing. So I'm going to give it a rub down with a towel and this window cleaner and see where we get. I've cleaned it up a bit. It now has a nice strong surface that's not flaky, but it's also slightly grippier, so the paint should hold on properly. Hopefully it works out. Okay, here goes nothing. Coat number 1, I'm probably going to do 3 coats on this side and 4 on the other, is what I'm planning. But this side doesn't matter too much, so it's a bit of an experiment. That's starting to look white. Pretty nice white as well, actually. That'll do for this first coat. That was a bit heavy, but I think it should be okay. Then I'm going to come back, do a few more, flip them over, and catch up with you then. So 2 coats of white paint have been put onto the backs. I'm not going to do any more, just in case I run low on spray paint. I want to make sure I get a solid 4 or so layers on the top side, so it's really nice, white, clean. Here they are looking pretty damn white. They've got a nice shine to it as well, which will only be improved when I put the gloss layer on, which is going to seal it all in as well. But now I'm going to flip them over. It's been an hour or 2 since the last coat, so they should be dry enough to flip over. This is the side that really matters. Hopefully I also don't get spray paint on the camera lens. Dad would not be happy. I'm going to keep spraying these. You're seeing that one over there, it's looking pretty nice already. This is just the first coat. Alright guys, so it's the next day. My hair is looking absolutely dead. Moving on. Here is the pearly whites. You can see the shine in them. They're looking absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is give it a quick look over. Make sure all the edges are perfectly white. There's a bit of blue in here, but that's going to be completely hidden, so there's no point in worrying about that. Gonna make sure there's no little spots that I've missed or that need to be a bit darker. And then I'm going to apply the gloss finish. I'm then going to leave it 24 hours, give it a clean over, and put it on the bike. So while the paint on the panel's drying, I thought I may as well paint another part on the luggage rack. Before I do that, I need to make sure I take off this helmet lock bit, which has got this slightly strange star like Allen key, which isn't focusing. However, thankfully I have the correct tools. Nice, so this bit is now ready. I'll probably brush it down with a wire brush and paint it black with the spray paint. Put a lot less effort into this one. I haven't really cleaned it down properly or anything, but I've got it hanging up on a washing line ready to spray so I can get all angles. I'm really not even sure I'll have enough paint, but hopefully it can do a rough covering that will look okay. I can always put some black hammerite on it if I really want to go to town. Should probably have thought about the wind. This is exactly how you shouldn't spray paint things. Location was changed due to wind and just generally a bad idea, but it's pretty hard to see actually. The luggage rack is now levitating. I held it up with some wire so I get all the angles again in here. It's a bit of a heavy coat, really not ideal. I'll probably come out and do another one later, and then it should hold up. It actually looks pretty good. Especially that gloss white and this gloss black work together so well. I've got a feeling it's actually going to look really good when this is on. Before I can put on these back plastics though, I have got to fix the indicators on the back, which I'll do tomorrow as well. And then it'll look kind of like a bike. I have got the seat to do, handguards and grips, but I'll do that in the next episode. Alright guys, so it's the next day or the day after, something like that. And the plastics are all dry and white. They're all just these two are resting on there at the minute. They're not secured on. Obviously the seat and side panels are all off, but it's looking pretty good. The colour match is decent. The white here and the white of the headlight and the front mudguard is pretty similar. This is it's almost like a slight yellowy off-white colour to this paint, but it's only very slight and you can't tell at all from any distance. What I need to do before I can put the back on, however, is change these indicators and probably make some new washers. So the indicator installation is going pretty well. Here is the first one attached. The indicator is here, it's looking pretty level. Here's one of the washers I made, the other one's on the other side. I put the worst looking ones, they're all pretty bad, but the even worse ones I'm putting on the inside, and it's just sandwiching this bit of plastic in between it to hold it nice and tight. It's nice and flush up against there, no extra sticky outer bits. These look really neat, I'm really happy with these. Here are the other washers. It's just a hole drilled through some sheet aluminium and then cut very roughly with some tin snips, but it doesn't really matter, they're not on show too much, and I kind of like the look of having them homemade. Adds a personal touch to the bike, which as you can tell I'm a big fan of, seeing as I've stripped back this whole bike just to make it look how I want it. Both indicators have now been attached and I've screwed back on this top bit. I think it has a little bit more play in it now, just here, because the wires, there's a lot more wires now from the indicators I've put on, so I think it's sat on a wire or so, but it's really not noticeable. So turn this baby on. There we go, flashing, job done. Now I need to put the foam bits that I took off of this back on. These slot on like this onto both panels to stop it rubbing. There's also some foam pieces. This has a massive sort of heat-proof foam looking thing which fits there. So I'm going to put all them back on so the panels are ready to go on the bike. I put some of the foam bits back on. I think these are in the right place. I'm pretty sure that one's in the wrong place actually. These two are definitely in the right place, but I sort of forgot where they all went and I figured, nah, it doesn't really matter. So the plastics are now going to be put onto the bike. So here she is with all the panels basically back on. I didn't put the luggage rack holder on yet. Anyway, it's looking pretty good, really good in my opinion. So much nicer than what it originally looked like. What I've got left to do, I'll take off the rim tape. The anodized gear lever on the other side is still blue, so that will need to be painted. The seat, obviously, the main thing, needs to. I'm gonna recover that. I've got all the stuff inside. Change the hand grips, put on the hand guards and the mirrors. Apart from that, which should all be done next episode, she's looking. The main transformation is pretty much done, and I'm really happy with it. It looks night and day different, better. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the spray painting my bike episode, and I will see you next time.